tell you what's changed right now. In a different field, different lane right now. Now I'm in the murk, switching lanes right now. Passive income getting paid right now. Used to roll around with sinners, bulldozers and killers. Now we focused on figures, 3-course meals for dinners, 5-star suites and villas. Now the swag hit different. Cause the bag is different.
This can't come out.
White guys were attracted to you.
Yeah.
And then what? So how did the
Through work,
how many white guys have you dated?
Mainly only, like, seriously,
No,
two.
just any. How many white guys do you know their name? How many white guys have touched your breast? Touched breast before?
Maximum 2.
Okay, that's not a good measure. That how many white guys have you kissed?
3.
Right. Okay. How many white guys have you went out with on a? Let's see what this is, vibe.
I can't count.
Is it really? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So explain how that happened. What took you there?
Through work and stuff, and I just, do you know what it is? I think there was one main one. We met at work and we worked 2 different departments. How did we meet? We met at, it was either the Christmas or an away day, and we realized we're in the same company.
Christmas and away days are dangerous, boy. Yeah.
And he was just, I think he was Greek, and he was lovely. The things he used to say to me, he was a very emotional, aware person, very intelligent. And I just was like, I think I was shocked because I didn't expect it at first glance.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think it's just his vibe. There was something.
Mm-hmm. Was he a bit black?
Yeah, there was something about, but he wasn't a wigger. He wasn't trying to.
Trying it.
No, it wasn't that.
Kind of.
No. It wasn't that. He was himself. He was Greek. He was himself. But it was the way we liked the same things. He put me onto certain things that I liked, that I retained. Certain books, certain things, opened my eyes to certain things. And I was like, rah. And then so, would you like to go for a drink? Would you like to go for dinner? Dates? And I enjoyed the dates. I was like, I'm vibing with this guy and I'm single. So like, I think I was still figuring myself out. And that was the only one relationship I had. I only had every other...
So you was going out with him?
No. I'm saying like, the one relationship I had with uni... That's the only relationship I had to compare my dating life to. Mm-hmm. I didn't have anything else to compare it to outside of that and what I see at home. Mm-hmm. And it was just nice. I felt like, okay, they're a bit softer with me. You know, I don't have to be hard or masculine all the time. I just felt softer with this man. And then from there, moved on to another guy. And I was like, okay, so there is a difference. But then at the same time...
And this guy was white, not Greek. Okay.
That's I've only proper dated and liked one British white guy. The rest have been Europeans. Yeah, okay. The one that's around here.
Yeah.
He's the only one I've actually had a sense of attraction to. Like I said, the things he says, the things he likes, how he makes me feel. I trust my feelings because that's a telltale sign. Like, before my brain knows stuff, I'll feel something about a guy and I'll be like, okay, why do we feel this? And then my brain would like...
Are you having a problem in any of these relationships ending, you reckon?
Of course I am.
Well, okay, now, what problem are you?
What problem am I? In the beginning, sticking to what I know, even though what I knew wasn't good for me.
And what's that?
Toxicity.
So just sticking to toxic stuff.
Like, unfamiliar. So if you were being not too kind, but if you would be, I would think like, what is the catch? Like, when is the shoe gonna drop? And it's like, I would wait for the shoe to drop, or I would plan for the shoe to drop. There it is. You ain't shit like the rest of them. There it is. It's come out. But it's not that. It's just like, it's fear. It's fear-based relationship. After what you've had, like I said, you have nothing to compare it to. So it's fear. And fear leads to toxic behaviors and not trusting. And why do you pick up your phone? Oh, I'm not, you're a liar. I'm not even doing this. It's over.
That's what you were on.
I mean, if I see the fire about to start, I see a little bit of smoke, it's not happening. I don't need to wait for the fire pit to start. There's just a little bit of smoke for me to know that the fire is going to start sooner or later.
Have you ever cheated before?
Emotionally, yes.
What does that mean? That you let somebody in that you shouldn't have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't like been in a relationship and gone to have sex with another man.
But
no.
You you've basically acted in ways that's like your brain wasn't elsewhere.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
It's like...
I can kind of like see that in you for some reason, isn't it? Like, because I can see that you're naughty. You've got a naughty vibe about, yeah.
Why? But that's the thing. People say this, and I'm so good.
I don't know, but you act very, 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 very naughty. Like, you've got a naughty spirit about you.
What's a naughty spirit?
I don't know. There's something about you that looks like this one is naughty. Yeah.
What does naughty mean?
Naughty means just not good. Like, you're not good. Like, you're not bad. You're not evil. But yeah, this one, she's troublesome, isn't it?
No, like, that's the thing. I'm so misunderstood. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to it's true because of my face. Like, it gives me away. Like, I just don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the high cheekbones or whatever, but I'm so misunderstood. And no, you'd be surprised. Every guy that has gotten close to me has been like, just opposite. Like, I can't explain it. Mm-hmm. I think I just have that naughty face, that hard. I don't know if it's South London. I just have that face that's like, I don't even want to mess with her. Like, I don't even want to be on her bad side. But it's not even
a bad side, because it's not a vibe of like a bad side. It's naughty, like you can't trust you. Like,
really?
Yeah, like not trust as in like on a friendship vibe would be normal, but for instance, you look so naughty, as in like you step out. You look like you can step out, basically.
And that's what guys worry about, because I look like I can step up. But that's the thing, I don't. And it's, there's a window physically, but there's a window in a relationship where, okay, there's this problem and we've addressed it and we're going to address it together. We're going to try and fix it. All right, now stage 2, we're trying to fix it. It's not really fixing. We're trying because, we love each other, what we mean to each other, the amount of years that's gone past. Stage 3, it is not working. But you're too scared to leave, because I've invested so much time in this. I've invested so much of who I am and my identity in this person. But you are checked out. And that's why I always say women leave mentally first before physically. Like, men sometimes just leave. Women, you're overthinking. When you've checked out, you've checked out. You just haven't physically checked out yet. So our brain and our body checks out at 2 different times. And it's that window of where my brain has already checked out. I know I'm leaving. I'm just too pussy. I'm just a coward to leave right now.
Too pussy to leave, right?
I'm too pussy to leave.
Oh, right.
That's just what it is. And because I'm too pussy to leave, I'm just... Now where I am noticing I'm attractive to other men, you might let someone in emotionally because you're weak. So yes, I understand sometimes, yeah, but no, I don't. Because you're making a conscious choice to talk to this person and to engage in this relationship. You're already checking out of this situation. So when you're checking out.
I'm saying, but you just look like someone that's naughty. You look like someone that you'll do a little flirt. Not just saying that you look full on, oh, I'm going to cheat. You look like I will flirt with people as much as I would like to. Because
I won't, no. If I'm in a relationship, the fact that I've said yes to be in a relationship with you, it means I'm already smitten by you. But when other guys, when I do get looks in the street, I might smile. I might smile and be like, well,
yeah, you're a smiler.
Yeah.
I think you're a known smiler. Yeah, you've been a smiler to me.
I will smile at him like, okay.
And guys that don't know anything.
They'll be like, oh yeah, she likes me. Yeah. She's on me, and it's like, nah. I'm just appreciating you. Like, I might be like, that guy looks nice, but nothing's gonna happen. But I'm gonna check him. I'm like, he looks nice. He's tall. He's dark.
What's your relationship? Do they like you?
Loved me.
Okay, cool.
Loved me. The whole, where's that place called? Outside ACS or whatever.
Isambard.
Outside Isambard. They will see me, because dogs have vision. They will see me from miles away and let them off the leash, and they will just start running. And all you'll see is all these students, oh my God, like screaming, because 2 big dogs are just running. But I love dogs.
Why didn't you guys move in together second year?
He lived with me first year. And we were practically together whole of second year because I was in a house. So it's practically there.
Okay, cool.
Because he was commuting. And so every time he was on campus, he practically lived with me.
Oh, fair.
We did actually practically live together. And we were just in uni. Did you date a lot in uni?
Brunel?
Yeah.
I don't think I dated anybody in Brew. Nah. Oh,
why?
No, I didn't date anybody in Brunel.
Why?
No, I don't even know. I was just outside, man. But when I look back, I should have been way more outside than I actually was. I was, what was it? Like, I had sex on the first day of university and probably like the last month.
With a black girl?
Yeah, of course, black girl. I've only fucked black girls, I think.
Would you
I
fuck
fucked
a
one
white girl?
but that wasn't.
How did that happen?
How did that happen? Oh, that basically, I went to a mixed school. So my school was, in fact, it was probably majority white, my secondary school. And what happened? I came back to, it was somebody's birthday. That was in my school. I got drunk. And then there was some just girl moving to me while I was drunk. And I've come to university now, and I'm saying I've got new confidence as well. I'm in there now, and then she just slapped on me, and then I just came her.
Yeah. When I was in uni, I didn't think I'd ever be with a white man. I was just very into guys. I was even only into guys from South London. That's how bad it was. I didn't want to.
South?
Only South. Even if East London guys, I'm like, no. I was never into anything foreign.
They live. That's crazy.
Not because of where they lived. It was a personality type. It was a personality type, and I'm like, once I sense, I'm like, okay, he's good. He can survive anywhere.
Because he's from South?
Yeah.
You South people are fucking, what's the word?
He can survive in the middle of an investment bank in Colombia. He can survive under a drug lord. He can survive in Ireland. He can survive in Uganda, Nigeria. He can survive anywhere I put this man. He can survive. I like
because
him.
He's from South. It doesn't really matter what part.
No, because it's a spirit. It's something. I'm like, he's got it. He's got that steez.
Because he's from South.
And he can survive.
Boo! Fuck yeah. I was gonna say as well. Wait, how did patient died of? She died of sickle cell, wasn't it?
She did.
Did you know she was having a bout? Because I know you got a trait.
No, I have sickle cell.
No way. No,
I have sickle cell.
No.
Yeah.
Do you have the?
I'm SS. I have sickle cell. So when she
you
passed,
have the outbreaks.
The crisis.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah. And that's why it's close to home, because we both, not that we bonded because we had sickle cell, we just understood. There was just some things, what's understood doesn't have to be explained. And then so there's some things I know, some battles she'll go for, and I'm like, I get it.
But
I get it.
So wait, what's the longest you've been in hospital for?
Probably a month.
I thought you just had a trait.
No, probably a month. And people say, you don't look like you have sickle cell. There's a lot of people you wouldn't know.
What does that pain feel like? Can you explain it?
Yeah. That pain, honestly, it's like no other pain. I've had like injections. I've been like, that pain, the only thing that has come close is a heartbreak. It's grief.
Fuck.
It's grief. It's like deep grief of losing someone, is lost, bereavement. And it's like sharp. It's like, it comes in, like, let's say how your blood is pulsating. It feels like sharp knives, like stabbing you in the beat of your heartbeat. And it's the same spot.
As your heart beats.
So it's pain, but it's like that consistency as your pulse. It's moving in sensation with your pulse.
For how long though? For a month, you said?
Because or weeks.
So it looks like you're being stabbed.
It's like you're being stabbed in that spot, because remember, sickle cell is like a genetic blood disorder. It's a lack of oxygen getting to your artery. Your vein is blocked because your blood cells are like donut shaped. Mm-hmm. So your blood is able to move like it's freely, move freely. Ours is like a crescent. So it's like, oh, and then sometimes it gets stuck. And as it gets stuck, more blood cells are piling on. And so that blockage, your kidneys now not getting oxygen. Your chest is not now getting oxygen. Your lung is not getting oxygen. So your organs are panicking. It's like, what's happening? And so that pain of the blockage, of it not getting through, of your oxygen decreasing, it's like your oxygen is decreasing and you're in pain. So that together. And you hear people with sickle cell say, oh, you hear Mandem, you hear like, because I like hearing, it's like my guilty pleasure. I like listening to testimonies or what people have been through in or stories. And you hear like gangsters with sickle cell and be like, I've been shot before, my nigga, and, I'd rather be shot than have a crisis. And then you hear mothers with sickle cell, they'll be like, I'd rather go through labor and have 3 kids than have a crisis. Mm-hmm. So it's worse than these pains. So when men are telling you it's worse than being stabbed, it's worse than a gunshot, it's worse than labor and having a child, it is so painful. You would expect expect to be seen like this, but because of the color of your skin, you're not taken seriously.
How many crises have you had in your life, you reckon?
Too many to count.
No. I'm not going to lie, you wear it very, very, very well. Because I've never known you to ever have a crisis in my life.
Yeah.
And like when I'm looking at you, you don't strike me as someone that looks like, oh, they can potentially be in pain. Yeah. Like, for instance, by the time the year ends,
yeah,
what's the likelihood you have a crisis?
Touch wood, I don't want to, but the likelihood I will have a crisis is at least 80%.
Have you gone a year without one?
Yes, I've gone a year without one when I was younger, but not in my adult years. And the reason why is because certain people have certain symptoms. So like the main symptoms of sickle cell, it could be, it's the cold. We are basic. Whenever you see a sickle cell person, imagine them as a summer baby. They are allergic to cold. They're allergic to ice. They're allergic to cold water. They're allergic to cold weather. Mm-hmm. So anytime there's a cold weather, it's like your body goes into shock. Like what's happening? It's not moving. So everything your blood is stickier and rigid than it is when. Than it is when it's hot. But then also when it's hot, you've got the problem of dehydration because you always need to have water to keep your blood flowing properly. But when you're dehydrated, your blood is not flowing properly because you're dehydrated. It's taking more. Your body's made up of 8% water. Yeah. So it's struggling. It's trying to take self-absorb from the water that's already in your body. And then stress, adrenaline. Every time you're nervous about something, you've got a wedding day coming up, you're planning something, you're nervous about something, you've got anxiety and fear, you've got a job interview. My body, adrenaline pumps your blood faster in your body. And when adrenaline is happening with someone with sickle cell, it's like your body's trying to fight off a crisis because your body's sending off. Too much is happening at the same time. Sex can make you have a crisis. You can have sex and not have a crisis. Yeah, sex brings on a crisis. My periods bring on a crisis. Why? Because monthly you're losing blood, and so I'm already anemic, sickle cell anemia. So when I'm on my period, I'm even more anemic. So I have a crisis every time I'm on period because I'm anemic. Sex brings it on because that rush of adrenaline, and then your body's like, "What's happening? Are we panicking? Oh shit, let's send the body into a crisis." And it's like. No, I'm just having sex. It's okay, calm down. So you have to learn like things like breathing techniques, holistic stuff, and medicine. There's so much to learn. But if you grew up in a household that didn't teach you how to manage your health, that's one thing I say. I said, sickle cell is a lifelong illness. You're born with something. So the best thing for that person that is born with it is to teach them from the beginning how to cope with this thing they're going to have for the rest of their life. If they're born into a family that has a lack of education, that's gone through racism, that's left Africa, that's an immigrant in a country that doesn't even know about the illness, they don't know anything. So they can't pass down any knowledge to that child with sickle cell. So you're a child that doesn't even know what's happened to you. Your own body's attacking to you. It's like the invasion of the body snatchers. Your own body's attacking you. You don't know what to do mentally because nobody has told you this is what you have. You're autistic. So you're not going to be able to speak like other kids. You're going to be able to speak one day, but you're going to have to go to these classes and learn this. You're deaf, so you're going to have to learn sign language. You might get your hearing back, but until then, we are going to talk like this. And other kids in your family is going to have to learn to talk like this so they're able to communicate with you and understand you. But if you're born in a household with a lack of education, a lack of resources, poverty is their main problem. You don't even have enough money to pay bills. So how does your parent even have enough time to spare time to learn about this autism or illness or deafness their child has? So then you're neglected. You're neglected by your home first, and then you're neglected by the system. A system that doesn't care to understand what you have and who you are because of your race. You're black. So first of all, I don't even understand. I don't even relate to your pain because textbooks have taught me as a doctor in medical school, black people don't feel the same pain as white people. So because you don't feel the same pain as white people, because you're able to absorb pain more, I'm not going to give you painkillers when you come into hospital. And that's why movies like super... Yeah. What do you mean you deal with that bit?
As in when I'm in the dentist, I'm like, yo, I'm in pain. No, you
can't be now. You're a big man. Come on.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, this hurts.
Listen to me. And this is why I'm an advocate. It's important for you as a black person or a person of color to advocate for yourself because no one is going to do it. If you're already in an oppressed country and they are dedicated to seeing you like this, you have to advocate for yourself. You have to speak. I've had dentists where they've like, you should be okay. You shouldn't feel any pain. And I have popped that thing out of my mouth, held it in my hand and said, let me tell you something. I've just told you this shit hurts. Do it one more time.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
no, trust me. all
okay,
you're
maybe
feeling
we can
is
give you
pressure.
more killing.
No, I'm feeling pain.
I'm not feeling pressure. You're dumb. Pressure. And that's the thing. You have to educate yourself. And I tell them, pressure is this.
Yeah.
Pain is that. And right now, you're banging me in my tooth. And I've told you I feel pain. You're not listening. The third time you do it, you cannot. If I can't control myself, you cannot do anything. When you tell them that, okay, you know what, let's give you a few more doses.
Shots.
Let's give you a few more shots. Yeah, you better do that.
These guys try to put numbing gel on me.
It's called torturing. It's called torturing.
That's what it is.
And in slavery time, they used to, you know, because now they're trying to ban from schools, you know, like when you feel guilty about your history, I said, if you want to fix anything, you have to go down to your roots. And sometimes when they feel guilty about their history, they try and cover it up. So they'll tell you, you know, slavery was for labor. Slavery was for work. And you say, okay, no problem. Let's say slavery was for labor. Slavery is for work. And up till now, in modern day society, we still have slavery. We have households, we have gay men. But what these people in today's society is not doing to these slaves, you're not pulling their teeth and wearing them as accessories. You're not pulling their hair and filling it and into your sofas. You're not lynching them. What is lynching? Lynching helped us work. Lynching helped us become better laborers. No, we didn't. You were killing. You were murderers. You were sex trafficking. You were doing all of this thing. So there's a history of torturing people of color. And when you try and talk about it in today's society, oh, no, you know, no, you're going too far. We're not going too far. There's a history of you torturing people that look like me. I have told you I'm in pain. You're not listening. That means it's turning into torture. Because I've told you I'm in pain. And as a dentist, you're meant to listen. So she said, you know what? We are going to give you 2 doses. I was high as a kite because they had numbed my teeth so much. My face I couldn't feel nothing. So she said, you need to mind because if you bite yourself, you won't feel. So things like that, you're meant to. Do you know women go through smear tests and paps and there's different sizes of things, these incubation things they put in you. You can tell them, I want the smallest size. The same way I have baby veins. I can tell somebody, I need the baby needle so you can take blood. And then this woman that's just passed nursing school and she's 12 months out of nursing school. Yeah, but all the needles are the same size. No, they're fucking not. Blue is small, yellow is big, whatever, green is medium.
How do you know this shit?
Because I was born with a condition, a lifelong condition, and I've been exposed to the medical industry since I was a newborn. So when you've just passed school for 12 months, I've been with something for over 30 years, you want me to because I know what's wrong with me. Because I've been in the same condition for 30 years. You've just passed uni last year. What are you telling me for?
Wait, what's a toddler with sickle cell like? What's that like? How do you...
It's painful. Can you imagine?
But I'm saying, because... Like, obviously, bear in mind, you're a girl as well, isn't it? So you're a girl, so you end up having period pain, stuff like that. And I'm thinking at one point, it's like, okay, cool, you've gone with it for so long that you just think, this is normal.
It's not normal. You know it's not normal because you're exposed to that level of pain. So I remember one time my mum made a statement and I thought it was quite ignorant. She said, you cried so much when you were a baby. You cried so much. I didn't know what to do. And I said to her, of course I cried. I had sickle cell. And then she paused. Of course I cried. I had sickle cell. I was a newborn and what normal kids are used to, walking, teething. My joints are already in pain. And now I've got a teeth on top of that. And then other people are carrying me, oh, you're so cute. My joints are aching. I'm literally 6 months out of the womb with sickle cell. I'm in pain. I'm swollen. My fingers are... And a bottle won't cure it. Painkillers will, but because you're ignorant, sorry, not ignorant, but you have a lack of knowledge, you don't know that you're meant to take me to hospital because I'm swollen right now. I have inflammation. You're meant to calm that down. You're meant to rock me to sleep, self-soothing. But when babies don't get that level of soothing, they start to self-soothe, which is toxic. You when you self-soothe, that's you finding toxic trait. Yeah, that you start sucking your thumb, and then bottles. I stopped sucking my thumb. Maybe I was 2, 3. I had a dummy, you know. I sucked my thumb. There's different stuff.
You look like
to
a
self-soothe. I look like a 2-finger person. Yeah, it probably was. But you're meant, you know, babies do self-soothe because of all of that. And yeah, kids that grow up in an abused home, they're more likely to have. That's how people. You know, addiction because you're trying to self-soothe. That's how addiction is formed.
Now, in terms of because I remember I've got 2 friends. Both of them have got sickle cell traits.
Yeah.
Now, I was in New York with these guys.
Yeah.
Both of them have got sisters that have sickle cell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2 of them they had two separate approaches to the sickle cell. One of the guys was like angry at his parents for getting together in the first place. The other one was a bit more, well, I love my sister. If they didn't get together, then she wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And what was it? So they had a little debate with each other. One of them was saying, nah, my parents are selfish for doing that. Because of their love, they decided that they love each other.
Did they know? Did they know?
I think they both knew. I think that's what they were alluding to. And bear in mind, he's got a sickle cell trait himself, and his sister's got sickle cell. He was like, what they did was selfish, because at the end of the day, if you know, because he said he's seen the attacks and he's seen the effects that it's had on his sister, and it's like, if you guys known what the pain that she is feeling, would you guys still do this, isn't it?
They wouldn't.
Now, with you and your...
They wouldn't do it. If they knew the full extent, they wouldn't do it. Because it's a lack of education. So I can't call, it's like you saying they have a mental health issue. This mental health issue is stopping them from making informed choices and decisions. Am I gonna hold them accountable for this decision? No, because that mental health issue might be stopping them from making rationalized choices. If I tell you and I sit down to you and I say, yes, you love this man. You've just met this man in a bar and he's going to be the love of your life. But you guys are going to have a child, and that child is going to have a very underprivileged life. They're going to face bullying. They're going to face abuse, and they're going to face a deep level of systemic injustice and racism. Every time you're going to try and fight for them, this thing inside them is going to grow. It's going to essentially try and rob them of their life, rob them of their youth, rob them of their energy, rob them of the things that they can even attain, rob them of some of their purpose, their journey, their friendships. They're going to rob them of relationships, and they're going to still not be seen as a victim. They're going to be seen as a problem. They're going to be told they can't have medication when they want. They're going to be abused by the system. They're going to be treated badly, but yet they're going to have some good moments, but they're going to go through the worst pain of their life, and there's nothing you can do but watch them. You're not going to be able to help them. And if the system crashes, you're going to have to fund their health. You're going to have to pay for private. They're going to be an expensive, we can call it burden, because it's going to be a financial burden on you. It's going to be a huge emotional burden on you. And spiritually, you're going to need to stand on something stronger than just your love. You're going to have to stand on an anchor. Maybe your love will be your anchor, or God will be your anchor. But if somebody had a conversation and explained the full gravity of what sickle cell is and what they have to, for what their child is going to face emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically, they would be like, I don't know if I want to do this. But they didn't know.
Would you
never
get with a guy with a trait?
Never.
Right.
The trait, I would never. Wow. I would end a 5-year relationship. If I were in a relationship with a guy and I find that he has the trait, I would end it. The only way I would accept this guy is if I had IVF. I need to pee. If I had IVF.
You say you need to pee?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a toilet around the corner. Okay. You can go now.
I can go?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's deep, man.
If I had IVF, I would, because IVF, they can pick, I've already got my eggs frozen, and they can pick his sperm.
All the eggs frozen, are they the ones that have just got one trait?
No, it has, but they can take the ones that don't have it, and they can do IVF and implant.
Oh, okay, sweet.
And that's why I have options, but...
Right, man, that's deep, man.
What's deep?
Well, as in the sickle cell trait, I had no idea.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't have the knowledge to make informed decisions, and so obviously we were just thinking, oh yeah, but we love each other. Yeah, but do you have the money? You're a couple based in a third world country, Uganda, Nigeria, and your wife is a homemaker, you're a simple bank teller. You probably make 20 grand a month at best. And you're in a third world country, and this child is you're going to give birth to a child, twins with sickle cell. How are you going to maintain their hospital bills? And then you start getting frustrated because you cannot maintain.
You're not a twin.
No, I'm just saying, like, a random person, a scenario in Nigeria, and they're barely earning minimum wage. And then they're saying, yeah, but we made it informed. They said they didn't, because they didn't know the full extent of what their choices are leading to.
You can stand on it. So you know for certain right now, based on the information you've got, that your child will never have sickle cell.
No, because I would make the informed choice not to marry a guy with sickle cell trait. And if he did, the only option I would allow that is to have IVF, where I am picking apart our DNA, our non-sickle cell DNA, to have a baby. Outside of that, I wouldn't give a sickle cell trait a person, because I can only just about emotionally handle the fact that I deal with crisis. I can't emotionally deal with seeing my child in pain.
Wow. Because somebody, especially something that you love, going through it would be...
It's evil. If I know the extent of what I feel, your whole point as a parent in life is to pass the baton forward and for your children to move ahead of you in life. Why would I want to do that?
Is there a way to determine, for instance, when you're pregnant, is the baby... Oh, so would you abort straight away then?
But why would you want to abort? For me, prevention is better than cure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go through all of that just to bond and lose my child, when I could have just said, no, I'm not doing this.
So when you meet a guy and he just got no trait whatsoever, how does he look? Is he looking sexier?
So I have a theory.
Uh-huh.
And I know this theory can get me in trouble, but I know the government is hiding the amount of people that have sickle cell. Right? It's not 15,000, it's way over 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had a lot of black men that have come up to me when we've done the DNA testing, genotype testing, they are all traits. So I have a theory that there's a lot more trait people out there than than AA, than normal.
Funny thing is, I haven't been tested. But in terms of, my mum's told me
most people are traits.
That I haven't got no traits, isn't it? She says, whether I've got no trait whatsoever.
There's a lot of traits out there. And those people are not included in the statistics of sickle cell as a whole. And do you know what's also not included in the statistics of sickle cell? British Overseas Territories country. UK always says there's about 15,000 patients in the UK with 15,000 patients in the UK with sickle cell. But do you know the UK runs countries like Bermuda, Cayman Islands, certain part of the Caribbean islands, where there's predominantly black people that have a trait and sickle cell. Why are they not adding those figures to the 15,000? When you know the amount of people that are affected by sickle cell, then you'll start to understand, oh my God, why is there not enough awareness? Because you can stop this. It's a simple matter of education.
But you see,
A and A is good. A and S, AA and AS, good. AS and AS, bad. SS and SS, very bad. Like, you can make educational features about it. You can make music. You can make rap songs about it. They block everything. Because why? There's an agenda to pass.
Well,
it's not our problem.
Want people to have it.
They don't give a shit. If this affected white people,
it's not a white disease. Is it?
If it affected white people the way it affected us, it will be the World Health Organization will be like, oh hell no, this needs to stop.
I think not got an equivalent.
Can you remember being in school? What health issues did you learn about? Did you learn about cystic fibrosis?
I've heard about that. I've heard of it. Yeah.
Can you remember in primary school anything they said about it? Anything, even if you get it wrong.
Something about what their bones or their muscles,
and breathing, and it's a genetic illness. They're born with it, but they get 7 times more funding, 7 to 11 times more funding than sickle cell, and more people are affected by sickle cell. So that should show you what matters, because you learned that in primary school, and you learn about different illnesses in primary school. But the main thing that's going to stop this thing is these 2 sets of people having sex. So if I tell them from primary school, be careful, get tested so you don't have sex. The same way you guys teach about HIV and AIDS and all of this, why would you not teach about sickle cell? You're already teaching kids about gender reassignment. And oh my God, if you pick pink color and if you pick blue color, you're a boy, you're a girl, you identify with this. But you don't have the budget to teach them about sickle cell.
Can mixed race people get it as well? I'm some.
Yes, you have a blood type. Your blood type can be O, A, B, whatever. A minus, O minus, A minus, whatever. B plus, A plus. And then you have genotype. Your genotype is only going to be AA, AS, or SS. You can only be 3. So if you can only be 3, AA, AS, SS, right? And there's other ones like thalassemia and other stuff, right? But if they can tell you that when you start dating someone, oh, by the way, this is my genotype. I've been told I'm an AS. It's basically a trait of this. If we have kids together, they're going to have the full-blown thing, and their life, it's going to be hard on them. So I want to make an informed decision. What are you, by the way? Oh, I've never heard about. That's an education. That's a whole topic for a date. That's a whole topic for a date.
But because I've been told that I've got none, my vibe has always been the vibe.
You've been told by your mother.
Yeah.
You haven't been told by a doctor.
Well, do you reckon it's worth me?
You haven't got to, absolutely. Because you don't have it on paper. Your mom could be like, I forgot, you know, Nigeria, your birth certificates. I know back then they gave me epidural, and I think they say, is it you or Tommy that had the, and it's like, your mum had epidural, your mum had painkillers. You want her to remember information from over 30 years ago?
Because I think it's because my mum says she hasn't got any.
Yes.
And my dad also hasn't got any.
So if your mum hasn't got any, your dad hasn't, of course. But then you can always try. Because the whole situation with my ex's family was I never had it. But apparently one of my older sisters have it. And then all of a sudden I've gotten a test. Oh, apparently I'm the one that has it. I never knew. That has happened to me 3 times in a relationship where I'm dating a guy. No, I don't have this thing in my family. I'm like, okay, so you wouldn't mind us going for a test, pay a little quick money, doing it? Sure, I love you. I want to do it. We do it. He's a yeah. But I thought you said... And then the whole life has changed, because from that moment forward, I've burst their bubble, their reality. Because going forward now, they have to ask every other girl, even if we're not going to be together, they have to ask every other girl they come in contact with, wait, hold on, I'm AS now. What are you? Because you're AS, you're trait.
Check though, innit?
Yeah, you have to check. Because that's something you're going to have to deal with. And if you know that this is a problem that you have to deal with, why wouldn't you want to fix it? Why wouldn't you want to educate yourself on the problem beforehand, before it actually becomes a problem?
Right. Like, well, describe one of the worst outbreaks you've had, as in, like, what was going through your head during this period?
One of the worst outbreaks I've had, I think I spoke in tongues that day. I was having an acute chest crisis.
A what?
An acute chest syndrome. So my crisis was in my chest. It was restricting my breathing, and like my chest was just getting tighter and tighter. And then I remember I was just screaming because it gets to a point where I feel like I started ascending. Like I couldn't have normal conversations. Like I was just wailing. I wasn't even able to hear my anymore. I wasn't able to hear my friend. I wasn't able to hear my family members. And I remember this Jamaican nurse walked in the room and she was like, "Can you keep it down?
No way.
Can you keep it down? Because the guy next door has cancer. Yes, cancer's worse."
No way.
And that was the day I left the hospital. That was King's College Hospital. And I was like, this is a ward of hematology. People that are going through blood disorders, hemophilia, everything, cystic fibrosis, blood cancer, chemotherapy, and sickle cell. Sickle cell patients usually share a ward with cancer patients because a lot of stuff, it affects your blood. And there's other illnesses that affect your blood, like hemophilia and blood cancer. And you've come into my room not knowing who I am and told me, quiet as another black woman to another black woman, quiet down your pain. Because I think the guy next to you, who is white, is going through more pain than you. And that's something she learned in school. Because what she doesn't connect with my pain. And that's when I knew it was one of my worst crises, because I have a problem. Not only are they not soothing my pain, I am left alone in this. This is an isolated incident, because everyone that's around my bed right now, my family, my sister, they cannot help me. They can't help me. They're crying because they're so helpless. They can't help me. And they're trying to talk to this medical staff who is just an ignorant person. I don't know whether she bought a degree or whatever, but ignorance has taken over. And so that is like my worst. So my worst was one time I was like, I can't breathe. I need oxygen. And she was like, well, your oxygen says it's 95 and 96. I'm guessing you're fine. I was like, you don't understand. I have acrylic on my nose. I have something. And oximeters don't read dark melanin the same way it reads white people's skin. So I was like, it's not even a fair representation of what I'm feeling right now. I need oxygen. I knew something came to me and told me if I stayed here, I'm going to die. So I called an ambulance, and an ambulance picked me from that hospital.
The ambulance picked me from
picked me from that hospital, and that was a destiny helper, because she said to me, I'm not able to do this, but you don't sound good. What I can do, they're not going to come inside. I'm going to get them and they're going to wait outside. They can wait for a maximum of 10 minutes. You said your crisis is in your chest and you're like, you can't walk. Can you get outside? I said, I'll try my best. I was able to get outside. There was this guy in 2019, 2018 called Evan Smith. He died. And that's one thing people always do. When someone with sickle cell dies, all of a sudden people start sending that person to someone with sickle cell. The first thing you hear, you will say, oh, I have sickle cell. Oh my God, I have a cousin who died when she was 5 due to sickle cell. We're like, oh yeah, gee, thanks. You know, like someone always feels the need to tell us they've lost somebody to it, which is not always encouraging. So
I didn't even think about it. Yeah.
So we're like, okay, cool. What was I getting? So Evan Smith also felt like he couldn't breathe. Because like I said, imagine you having this illness called Avengers. And you know what Avengers does in your body. You know what it's fighting. And you know, like, when it gets to a point where you feel, it's like a woman having a baby, where you get to the point where the contractions are like 1 minute apart now, you know that the baby's head is near the tip. That is the point where you need to like kind of take a deep breath. So sickle cell patients know when their pain is at a pain they've never felt before. And this is the borderline between life and death. And that boy asks, I need oxygen. Because your problem with helping us is you say we're drug addicts. You can't give us medication. We don't trust that you're in pain. No worries. This boy is not even asking for medication. This black young boy is asking for oxygen. And you look at him and say no. Because you don't believe this black boy deserves the same resources the same people as your colour skin deserve. And now he's dying. And so the next morning you go to his room, he's dead. Because he told you he needed oxygen and you told him no. And now you've gone in his room and he's died. And so people have said, I've told my story and to my friends and told them I had to call an ambulance while I was in hospital. So my girls are like, oh my God, Lola, this guy called Evan Smith has died. This is the same story you told us 2-3 years ago. Of course I'm not responding to my DMs. I'm triggered because that was meant to be me. And this is a younger guy. I'm now in my 30s. That guy died when he was 19, 20. What is a 20-year-old doing dying? What is a 20-year-old doing dying? What is a 25-year-old doing dying? It doesn't matter if you have cancer in this. The world is meant to help you. The hospitals, people, doctors take an oath to save your life. That's the only reason why they got that job. That's the only reason they were meant to get that job. Not just so they can get into the right social status in life and have doctor in front of their name and it's a social. No, you got into that job because you want to help people. The same way I speak to people, I speak on a crisis line. I want to help people that have mental health, that want to commit suicide because I've been affected by it. So you don't go into those.
Sickle cell related or just
not sickle cell related, mental, just pure mental health.
Like Samaritans and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so you now are like, you've told that boy he doesn't need oxygen and then he's died and the people are sending me that. And what that tells me is that you're not taking that job to treat people. You're taking that job to just basically treat people that look like you. That was a young boy who knew what he needed and he was advocating for himself at the right time and the right place. He did everything right. He opened his mouth. He said, I need oxygen. Something is wrong. And you told him, no, you don't. And you killed him. Because of the value of a black life in the UK, if you pay them compensation, the family will take them to court, it will go in Daily Mail for about a week, 2 weeks, on to the next stuff. That's their definition. Maybe they will invest £500, £1,000 into Sickle Cell Society. That's their definition of giving back. But you're allowed to go home as a nurse and doctor that failed. You're allowed to go home and hug your family. But guess what? Another parent is buying a casket, planning a funeral, telling a cousin, having to have a difficult conversation with siblings, parents, grandparents that this child is lost because a nurse didn't listen to them the first time. And then that person is allowed to go home. Why? Because there's no system in place to deal with and hold neglectful medical staffs accountable. Especially when it's containing to black lives because of the value of black lives.
If you were running your own, say there was like a hospital just for sickle cell patients.
Yeah.
Like, what would you reckon the ideal sort of hospital would be? Like, what would that look like, you reckon?
The ideal hospital will be intelligent people. No one hired in my hospital will be ignorance. Unconscious bias wouldn't be allowed. My building will be the one space you can come to in life that no religion matters, No race matters. No gender matters. What you look like doesn't matter. What's going on with you? Your foot is broken. You got stabbed. You have cancer. You need chemo. You have sickle cell. Okay, tell me what's wrong. How many days have you been feeling this? You've been constipated for about a week. When last did you eat? You haven't eaten. Why? You've gone through this. It would be a listening-based service. The patient is in control of what's going on with them. Oh my God, you had this. Oh my God, this is your 5th kid, but you feel something is wrong. Tell me why you think something is wrong. You've had 4 babies before this. So why are you saying, are you sure it's not the same back pain you've had with your 4 babies? No, doctor, this is something completely different. Why do you think this is something completely different? And it would be trying to monitor and spot data analysis. It would be educated people. Unconscious bias wouldn't exist. Racism wouldn't exist. The system wouldn't be corrosive because the system is there to help and to feed back to the community. And hopefully through feeding back to the community sees what a privilege it is and pumps back into that same industry. Not a system that takes from its community, takes and just doesn't help. It's just crashing because it wasn't built to be successful. It was built on top of corruption and nonsense. Its actual basis is not actual to help people survive. It's just here for funding. It's just here to keep the doors open. I don't want to keep the doors open. I want to help people. They say they have cancer, give them therapy. But before I give them chemotherapy, has your diet changed? What is your lifestyle choices? Do you smoke? Should we try stopping that first? Like, to have a medical place or a space that doesn't care about what color you are, doesn't care about what your gender. I don't care if you're a gangster. I don't care if you've just come from a shootout, a drive-by shooting. The point is you've got a bullet hole, you've been shot, and you're losing blood. I need to close that up. I need to help you survive. And then after whatever, the paperwork and after that can come, but I've saved your life. Because the oath I took to start this thing was to save lives. And that's all I've done. I've saved your life. Now you can go. Now the politics can happen outside of my building. I've saved your life. That's it. Next patient. What more do I need more than that? That's what.
It's kind of deep, man. And I had no idea you were going through. Yes, you said you've experienced literally an outbreak every bit of your adulthood.
Every bit of my adulthood.
Some not so bad.
Some not so bad, and some very, very life-threatening.
Fucking hell. And what does not so bad feel like?
Not so bad feels like...
And does your body know when it's about to happen?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Like, how weeks before or days?
Just only seconds before. Seconds and a minute before. Because that day, maybe you wake up and you're like, ooh, I feel more tired. I feel more fatigued than I usually feel. I feel more, my back, there's something tingling. There's a little tingle. There's a little background pain. It's not enough where I need to take opioids or big painkillers, but there's a background pain enough that maybe I do need to take morphine maybe I do need to take ibuprofen so I can concentrate on this editing. And then maybe you start your work going through it, you're on a meeting and it's like, I'm in pain now. I can't even concentrate on this meeting because per 2 minutes, your brain is coming back to the pain. The pain is bringing it back to the pain. So you're not being able to concentrate on your project and work. And then that's how there's a scale. What is your pain out of 0 to 10? Pain is subjective. Your 5 may be my 7. My 7 may be your 2. Even people with sickle cell, we're all different. Someone may be in a hospital for 3 months at a time. I have sickle cell patients that are in the hospital for 2-3 months at a time. No. So long as you hit the pain first, I spend the rest of the time decompressing and healing. But when I go into hospital, you don't treat that pain, my time is elongated because you haven't dealt with that pain. So I'm in more pain. So whatever painkiller you're giving me is treating all the it's treating all the neglect. It's not even hitting the pain that I came in here and started with. It's hitting the pain that you have neglected. And then the next day, I'm just dealing with the pain score of 7. That one, you've brought me back from a 10 to 7, and now I'm 5. Okay, now I'm on a 5. I'm okay. I'm in the mindset of 5 or 6. I'm in the mindset where I can feed myself. I can eat now, but I can't finish my food because the pain is still there. But I can do certain things. I can get up to go to the toilet. If the pain's too bad, I'm bedbound. I can't get up to go to the toilet. So there's ways to measure your pain. But the blessing with having sickle cell, the blessing with having something lifelong, is you're able to spot when something is wrong. You know your body best. You are your own doctor. What they teach them, what they go to uni for 2, 3, 5 years, life has been teaching me for 30-something years. I know way more than you, just based on experience alone.
What are random things that you reckon make your experience that deal with your pain better? Like, are there any random fixes for you?
If I say I need to go, or if you have a friend with sickle cell, they're like, I can't come today. I can't come to your event today. I'm so sorry, but I have to cancel today. I have to cancel your wedding. I need to go home. Let them go. Mm-hmm. Let them have the little bit of dignity they have left. Let them go. If you're with them and they say you're in hospital, you're in hospital. I'm at work right now. I might not be able to see you because I've got a child. I'm busy, but I'm going to Uber you some food because I know you're in so much pain. You're not even thinking about food. You're not even thinking about cleaning up yourself. So I might pop by after work. It's honestly, you're not a hero. You're not Superman, innit? So it's just basic shit like compassion, kindness. Like, do you need anything? I might not be able to come over. I live all the way in Northampton, but should I be on the phone? Do you want me to be on the phone with you for an hour? What ward are you in? Should I talk to the doctor? Because you've told me like you're expecting your medication at 2 p.m. and it's 4 p.m. They haven't given you anything. Should I call them? Should I write a complaint? Like an advocate. When you don't have a voice, outside of being in during emergency times, when you don't have a voice, do the circle around you, does your network uphold that voice for you? Do they help you? It's basic things. I do all the time. Sometimes a woman in my building, she's always with a walking stick. I know that. And then sometimes these postmans, Amazon especially, they just be dropping your package. Yeah, they don't even come upstairs. And every time she wants that, she has to like come down on the day she's good. She has to bring her trolley down on the day she's feeling okay because she's always 100% bound on a walking stick. The day my body's feeling good, I might decide to take my trolley and press 4th floor and drop it outside her doorstep because it might be a week or 2 weeks before she comes to get her packages because she's disabled. So little things like that.
Oh, that's cute though. That's nice.
It's not even, but it's little things like that. It doesn't cost you much out of your day, maybe 20 more seconds out of your day to go to 4th floor. But it's just helpful. And certain things, medical stuff, it's just listening because you don't know everything.
Do you let them know you've got sickle cell at work? Or
I haven't always been transparent my whole life. Like there's been situations where in the beginning when I first graduated from uni, I didn't let any of those companies know I had sickle cell because I knew I didn't want to be the diversity hire or the one they say, oh yeah, we're so inclusive, but it's performative. Yeah, because the minute you need a desk that raised, the minute you can't sit down properly because you've had a gunshot when you were 18, so your nerve and your back is fucked up, so you need to type standing up. The minute you start being a little bit of an inconvenience to their big budget that they already have, they have a budget, they have a diversity budget to help you. But because you're of another race and they don't deem you as the person that has adequate access to that budget, you're an inconvenience to them, or we're just going to let you go because it does affect work because they don't know how to deal with you. And sometimes inclusion, they care more about your gender and sex and this. And it's like, yeah, but what about the race aspect of their equality, diversion, and inclusion? Like, what about the race aspects of it? A lot of lives and a lot of careers have been ruined because they've gone into spaces where they don't fit the culture because you haven't allowed them. You haven't given them a safe space to fit. They've been brought up, this man has been brought up in Southeast India his whole life. Cultural difference, language barrier. Everyone, when he starts work, you haven't even integrated a system in the workplace for him to mix with his colleagues. Everyone's there is making a cup of tea, talking another, high level English, and he doesn't know how to. He can't just come in the middle of a conversation. Hi guys, I'm this from India. No, you need to welcome him into the company, integrate him into your away days. We're going for lunch do you want to come? Tell us about where are you from? Where they don't do that. Companies just, you're hired, throw you to the deep end, and all of a sudden you're meant to just play nice. No, it's like school again, the playground. They're meant to, on nursery, like they're meant to integrate you a bit and then they can leave you. They don't need to like pacify you and baby you and parent you as an adult in a workspace. But when they say diversity and inclusion, a lot of companies, what I see now in 2024, they don't really mean it. It's performative.
Yeah, 100%.
It's performative.
And what was it? Have you ever been off long-term sick at work and then do you explain it to them then?
And then I've been fired.
No way.
Absolutely. I've been off sick for 2 days and I've come back on a Monday and they've been like, we don't feel comfortable hiring you back, and they will hire and they will fire you because everything about the UK is political. They would fire you and on grounds that work. You cannot even sue because you're still in probation and, we're just restructuring. And right now you kind of don't fit the restructuring. They would, That's what they're good at. They will manage you out and cover their backs, and they have all these walls and systems and firewalls to cover themselves, but none to cover patients, workers. There's already an unhealthy dynamic. They have lawyers on their side. There's already an unhealthy power shift. You're coming into a company that is not respecting your human rights. They hired you. So sometimes it is better to tell them. It is better to tell them that I have ADHD. Certain emails I might miss, but I might add a tagline at the bottom of my email. It might take me a day or two to respond, or it might try and be open with them. And if they don't work there, because why do you want to work for a company that just has a one-track mind, a box of the type of workers they want? Because they're paying you to work for them, but they're not just only doing you a favor, you're doing them a favor. Their business sometimes can't exist without your expertise. And so they should teach you as such. They should treat you as such.
This is kind of deep. Also, I was going to say again, obviously, me and Lowlah, we had a beautiful story where we spent time in Mykonos together. Now,
that was so random.
Explain your end of the story, isn't it? Because basically, I was out there with someone that I shouldn't have been with, isn't it?
You shouldn't have been, or should?
I shouldn't have been.
You shouldn't have been out there.
It was kind of like a secret. No one knew about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me, I want to know more about that. Why was it a secret? Did she have a man?
No, she didn't have a man. But it was just, it was a freak holiday vibe. So
I love this story. Tell me more.
Just a spontaneous holiday. I didn't really want to be seen out there myself. And then I was like, wait, that looks like Lowlah. So I'm like, yo, Lowlah. And then you look, and then you're with your little boo thing. What was that about? Explain.
I'm here. Okay, so that was my Mykonos trip, right? And this guy had, older guy had been telling me he's been on my case for a while. I just want to make you feel good. I just want to make you enjoy your time. And I'm like, prove it. And he's like, where do you want to go anywhere? And I was like, to be honest, I don't really want to go anywhere. I'm just chilled. He knew I had sickle cell, everything. I just want to make you feel good. Where do you want to go? I want to go Mykonos. But I'm going to go.
You told him you want to go Mykonos.
Yeah, I told him I only want to go to nice places, and I said I only want to go to like the best hotel in Mykonos. And he's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's this cave hotel. It's nice. The view's nice." And so the night we were meant to travel, I came to the airport, and this has never happened to me before. I got to the desk, and I'm so excited, and they're like, "Passport, please." And I don't have my passport, and I'm literally there scrambling my suitcase. I was like, "I'll never forget my passport. I'm a very thorough person." Forgot my passport, so he's like, if you don't know going me, just say don't. I'm like, no, you don't understand. This has never happened to me before. I don't understand. I'm literally at the desk, and the woman's like, this happens all the time. Trust me. I'm like, it doesn't happen to me. She's like, it happens all the time. So I was like, you go. Book me on the next flight. The next flight was the next morning. So I only had the weekend. It was only like, 2 days, 2 nights, if that. It was meant to be 3-4 days.
1 second. So you forgot
my passport.
And then he booked you on the next flight.
He booked me the next flight.
You have to pay extra.
He paid extra.
All right. Fucking hell.
Went all the way home, paid for the cab. My passport was right on the bed. I mean, I opened the door, it was right down the bed. I was like, shit. And so went, and it was just an amazing holiday, amazing hotel. Didn't have nothing, didn't have sex. And I said, he was like, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to walk. It's called Little Italy or something. So it's the beach on Mykonos where just all the pasta, Mediterranean restaurants. So I was like, it was a nighttime. I was like, I want to watch the sunset. Nice romantic vibes. So I'm walking on Mykonos beach in my flats. And I'm like, walking, Lowlah. I was like, I was like, listen, it can't be me because this is not even London. I know I'm bait, but this is not London, so I refused. So I wasn't even Lowlah. I was like, there's no way. And it's Dammy. It's Dammy. And I'm like, how?
And the thing is, yeah, I was like, I didn't even really get the vibe. I didn't understand the vibe. I was like, okay, cool. Surely this is some sort of date. But I was thinking, like, obviously, it could be, maybe you have a young father or something. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, perhaps, maybe this is her father, perhaps. And he just looks mad young. And I didn't really know the vibe.
I told you I like them refined.
Huh?
I told you I like them refined.
Yeah. So me and my date were like, trying to figure it out. She's like, no. Because we were like, trying to, like, what do you reckon the vibe is between them, isn't it? Do you reckon it's actually holiday romance? This is me. I I can't actually be certain here. And she was like, no, you have to find out. You have to find out.
It was more like mentee at that stage because I think his part was romance. But at that point, I was just like, no, you still have, I need to know what you're about. But he was just always on his best behavior. And he was like, oh, is that your ex? Is that your ex? I was like, no, he's just my friend. Like, it's Dammy. He went to uni. Are you sure? He was like, you know, he called you more than once. And I was like, oh my God. Like, because he was like, is that your ex? Like, I was like, no, we're just friends. Like, seriously. But it was a fun holiday. I just didn't, I didn't like him then.
Oh, okay.
That was still the stage where he was proving himself to, you know, we're seeing what is this.
But you liked him later?
It was the second day. I liked him later. But I liked him later because of how he hustles.
How he hustles?
He's just a businessman. He